Hi, my name is Pablo Sebastian, and today we're going to learn the adverbs of frequency. Well, alright, probably you may ask to yourself, what is an adverb of frequency? Well, an adverb of frequency is something that tells us how many times something happens. Muy bien. ¿Cuántos adverbios de frecuencia hay en inglés? Bueno, hay una cantidad, pero los más importantes son always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely. Serían los más importantes prácticamente. These adverbs of frequency are the most common in the English. Probably these adverbs of frequency are the most important because people tend to use them frequently, to use them every day, in their days, in their activities, in school, in the job, in many places. You can use this adverbs of frequency. So it's a common for your single day. It's very common, so that's why it's necessary that you learn these adverbs of frequency. That's the truth. So now what we're going to see is that we're going to review all these adverbs of frequency through sentences, and I would like that you do something for me, and I want you to repeat the adverbs of frequency with me. If I say sometimes, you must repeat with me sometimes. If I say usually, you repeat usually with me. All right? So as I told you before, now what we're going to see is that we're going to review all these adverbs. All right? As you can see, here are some of the adverbs. We have some of the adverbs. We have the first one. Tenemos el primero que dice, he always drinks coffee. He always drinks coffee. Repeat with me. He always drinks coffee. Very good. Que esto significa, él siempre bebe agua. En este caso, el adverbio de frecuencia sería always. Always, que significa siempre. Very good. Ahora tenemos la foto de una comida. We have the picture of dinner. Probably is some vegetables. We have, and now we're going to see the adverb of frequency. She never eats meat. She never eats meat. She never eats meat. Ella nunca come carne. Trata de decir conmigo never. Repeat with me, never. Never. Never significa nunca. She never eats meat. If you want to write down the adverbs of frequency and his translation to Spanish, it's alright. It's alright, you can do it. She never eats meat. Ella nunca come carne. No, she doesn't. She eats vegetables. The next one, repeat with me, often. 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 Very good. We often play tennis on Sunday. We often play tennis on Sunday, and now we have the picture of a little Mario playing tennis. He's playing tennis. We often play tennis on Sunday. We often play tennis on Sunday. Try to guess what it means. What it means often. We often play tennis on Sunday. Bueno, often significa a menudo. A menudo. Es algo que tú haces a menudo. It's something that you do often on your week. It's something that you do. It's something that you do in your days, on your weekend. I don't know, many things that you can do in your weekend. As the example says, as the example shows us, we often play tennis on Sunday. A menudo jugamos tenis el domingo. I don't know, another example. We often go to the church. We often go to school. We often go to I don't know. We often go to the mall on Sunday. That's an example. Remember, if you want to write it down, if you want to write it down, the adverb of frequency and the translation of Spanish, it's alright. Very good. The next one, sometimes. Probably, this is an adverb of frequency that you probably heard in the past. Sometimes, because this is very popular. Sometimes. We sometimes go to the cinema on Wednesday. We sometimes go to the cinema on Wednesday. Probably you go to the cinema, I don't know, to the Cinepolis, to the Cinemas, I don't know, many places that you can go and see and watch a movie. We sometimes significa nosotros a veces. Nosotros a veces vamos a cine el miércoles. We sometimes go to the cinema on Wednesday. Very good. We sometimes go to the cinema on Wednesday. Why on Wednesday? Because probably many cinemas has promos on Wednesday. I don't know. That's a thing that cinemas do regularly. So yeah, we sometimes go to the cinema on Wednesday. Very good. And now the next one is a question. It's not just a sentence. It's not just something positive. No, this is a question. You can also use the adverbs of frequency to make questions. And we're gonna use the adverb of frequency often. Do you go often to the cinema? O mejor dicho, do you often go to the cinema? I think that's a better way to say this. Do you often go to the cinema? Do you often go to the cinema? ¿Tú vas a menudo al cine? And right here we have the picture of a cinema. We can see the screen. We see the movie, the people. You know. Do you often go to the cinema? Do you usually go to the cinema? That's another adverb of time. Very good. Very good. So now let's move on to another examples, to another's adverbs of frequency. Very good. All right, this is one that I mentioned before, moments ago. Usually. Repeat with me. Usually. Usually. Again. Usually. Do they usually speak English? Do they usually speak English? Do I usually speak English? O si queremos hablar acerca de él. Does he usually speak English? O ella, does she usually speak English? Usually significa normalmente. Normalmente. I usually travel around Mexico. I usually go to the gym on the weekend. I usually like to study at nights. Normalmente me gusta estudiar de noche. Do they usually speak English? Ellos normalmente hablan inglés. And we have the picture. Now we have this picture, this image of two persons, and both of them are speaking English. Do they usually speak English? Ellos normalmente hablan inglés. Muy bien. Ahora, the same adverb, but a different situation. This is something that all of us, we probably fail. And it's about the time. I usually arrive late. Ya miramos Ya miramos que usually significa normalmente. Así que trata de adivinar. Try to guess what it means this sentence. I usually arrive late. Late. It's not good. I usually arrive late. Muy bien. Yo normalmente llego tarde. That is something that is something that happens to a lot of Mexicans. And I'm speaking about myself either. So, I usually arrive late. Yo normalmente llego tarde. Pero si tú quisieras decir, nosotros usualmente llegamos tarde, we usually arrive late. Y si quieres decir, mi papá nunca llega tarde. Never, my dad never arrived. Very good. I usually arrive late. Yo normalmente llego tarde. Very good. Now we have another example of one of the adverbs of frequency that we saw a moment ago. Sometimes. Sometimes, repeat with me, sometimes I listen to the news on the radio. That is not so common today. I would say sometimes I see the news on Instagram. Sometimes, or usually, I see the news on Instagram. Usually, I see the news on TikTok. Normalmente yo veo las noticias en Instagram. I usually see the news on Facebook. Normalmente veo las noticias en Facebook. Para nuestros abuelos, para la gente más adulta, they usually see the news on the radio. Probably they hear the news on the radio. They watch the news on the TV. But you know, this generation, it's not like that. We tend to see the news on Instagram and in many, you know, what we call as redes sociales in Spanish. Very good. Now the next example. I watch the news. Recuerda news, lo que miramos hace un momento. I watch the news on TV daily. Esa es nueva. That's a new one. Daily. What do you think it means daily? Try to guess. I'm giving you 10 seconds. What it means daily. Daily. Veo las noticias en la TV diariamente. Daily. Diariamente. Esto es algo que podemos utilizar para muchas cosas. We tend to do a lot of things day after day. That's daily. I go to the school daily. I take a shower daily. Obviously, if you're a clean person, if you want to be clean, if you want to look good, you're going to take a shower daily. You're gonna clean. You're gonna wash your hair. You're gonna brush your teeth daily. I wash my teeth daily. When? In the morning. In the morning. I wash my teeth daily in the morning. Yo lavo mis dientes diariamente en las mañanas. Very good. You do? All right. Very good. We already review the adverbs of frequency. We review many of them. You and I, we exercise some of them through sentences. You repeating after me, obviously, but now we have to see something that is very important, and it's about grammar. Yeah, probably you don't like grammar very much, but this is important for this matter. This is important. Very good. We already saw some of the adverbs of frequency through sentences, and you repeat after me. You did repeat after me a few moments ago. So very good. We're going great, and I know that you're going to learn at the end of this class. You're gonna increase your knowledge of English. At least for this matter. Ahora, un poco de gramática. Con el verbo to be, colocamos siempre el adverbio detrás del verbo. Lo que trato de decir es que ahora siempre el verbo to be se pone primero. She is, we are, exacto. Muy bien, siempre se pone primero el pronombre. She is never ill. She is never ill. She, ella, is, and that is the verb to be. She is never. What it means never? Nunca. Nunca. She's never ill. She's never ill. Ella nunca está enferma. She's never ill. Puedes ver que pusimos primero el verbo to be, she is, y luego el adverbio. Sonaría raro si decimos never she's ill. It doesn't make any sense. Never she is ill. No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. It doesn't make sense. She is never ill. She is never. Ella nunca está enferma. Another example. She is always happy. She is always happy. Good. What it means always? What it means always? What do you think it means always? Siempre. She is always happy. Ella siempre está feliz. Feliz. She's always happy. That's how it works. She's always happy. Si tú pones primero el adverbio y luego después la oración, el pronombre suena raro. Always she's happy. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound good. It's better if you say it this way. She is always happy. Or she's always sad. She's always sad. Ahora veamos un poco de los adverbios de frecuencia utilizados en frases negativas. Muy bien. Do you drink? You don't? Well, me neither. Entonces, tú y yo podemos decir, I don't usually drink beer. What is the adverb of frequency in this sentence? I tell you. Usually. Which means normalmente. I don't usually drink beer. Normalmente yo no bebo cerveza. And that's true of my life. I don't tend to drink beer. I usually don't drink, or probably, in my case, it's in this way. I never drink beer. I never drink beer. Nunca bebo cerveza. That's true. We have the picture of the beer, a pint beer. I don't usually drink beer. I don't like it. Yo normalmente no bebo cerveza, no me gusta. I don't like the taste. Do you? In my case, no. Very good. Now the next example, the next sentence is, she doesn't often write to me. She doesn't often. What it means often? I'm giving you 10 seconds to think. Often. That's it. Often, remember, a menudo. She doesn't. Very good. Muy bien. Como vamos diciendo, she doesn't often write to me. Ella no me escribe a menudo. Oh, with this generation, with my generation, we would say, she doesn't text me. She doesn't often text me. Ella no me escribe a menudo. She doesn't often text to me. She doesn't often text to me. Ella no me escribe. Or she doesn't often react to my stories of Instagram. Ella no reacciona a las historias de mi Instagram a menudo. That's something that happens a lot, daily, normalmente. Ya miraste que sí lo podemos usar. Incluso 2 adverbios en una oración. Very good. Otro adverbio de importancia es el ever. No dije never, dije ever. 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 Try to guess what it means ever in Spanish. 10 seconds. Ever. Ever. Probably this is something that you heard in the past. Ok, muy bien. Ever significa en español alguna vez y solamente se utiliza cuando vas a hacer preguntas. Solamente se utiliza cuando vas a hacer preguntas, no para afirmar ni para negar, no. Ever se utiliza para preguntas. Do you ever play squash? Do you ever play football? Do you ever play soccer? Pero no solamente para acciones, para viajes. Do you ever go to, I don't know, do you ever go to the Plaza Peninsula? Do you ever go to the Peninsula Mall? Do you ever go to Cancun? Do you ever study for your test? ¿Alguna vez estudias para tus exámenes? Do you ever sleep? ¿Alguna vez duermes? Porque tienes unas unas ojeras grandes. Do you ever sleep? Very good. Does she ever smile? Does she ever smile? Aquí tenemos el ejemplo, el rostro de una mujer muy seria. Does she ever smile? ¿Ella alguna vez sonríe? O también, does he ever study for his test? Does he ever eat? Does he ever eat? ¿Alguna vez sonríe? ¿Alguna vez come? Very good. Very good. So, as I told you before, write it down on your notebook, all these adverbs of frequency, because you're gonna use them in the future. Muy bien. Ahora es importante de que notes esto. Hay adverbios de frecuencia que tú vas a utilizar cuando tú quieres dar a entender de que es algo que tú no haces, nunca haces o raramente haces. En este caso, si tú vas a utilizar el never, obviamente, never en español significa nunca. So, it's something that you never do. Something that you never do. Entonces, no tiene sentido que tú como persona adulta digas, you know, I never go to work. I never go to work. I mean, unless, if it's a joke, it works. Pero para si es una broma, si estás hablando con sentido cómico, sí, tiene sentido que digas, ¿sabes qué? Yo nunca trabajo, I never work. Pero si estás hablando seriamente, tú no puedes utilizar never, porque never es algo que tú nunca haces. You know, I never get drunk. That works for me because I don't drink beer. Eso funciona para mí porque yo no bebo cerveza. Entonces, conmigo se aplica, you know what? I never get drunk. Yo nunca me emborracho. That is something real. That's something true. Y aquí en medio es rarely, rara vez. Rara vez. You know what? Rarely I travel in the year. You know what? Rarely I go to luxury restaurants. ¿Sabes qué? Raramente voy a restaurantes lujosos. Or you know what? This is something very true for men. You know what? Rarely I change my wallet. Rarely I change my wallet. That's something very true for men. we we wait until someone, our mother, our wife or girlfriend, until someone um, uh, give us the what as a gift or something like that. So yeah, rarely. And sometimes, so never, again, to review, never 0%. That's something that never happens in your life. Rarely, 20%, we could say that this is like a 20% chances. And sometimes 50. You know what? Sometimes I don't know what we could say. Sometimes I like to I like to study. Sometimes I like to study at night. Or sometimes I trim my hair. Sometimes I trim my hair. A veces recorto mi cabello. 50. Eso es algo que pasa. Sometimes I trim my hair. So yeah, it works. Very good. So remember, write it down on your notebook. Write it down because this is something that you're going to use in the future. Or I don't know, probably tomorrow you can use them. And now let's move on to the next adverbs of frequency. As you can see, we have often, often que significa, remember, often significa a menudo. And we're not talking about, the food, el menudo. No, eso no significa, de eso no estamos hablando. We're not talking about foods. We're not talking about foods. Often, a menudo. I often wash my car. A menudo lavo mi carro. A menudo lo enjuago. A menudo lo mojo. I often wash my car. When? Probably on the weekend. Often, a menudo. Like 70% of the time. Often. Then we have usually. Remember, usually it means in Spanish, normalmente. Normalmente. Usually. I usually go to the store and I buy some tortillas. Normalmente voy a la tienda y compro tortillas. Normalmente. That is probably something that happens in every Mexican family. In every Mexican family. Like a 90%. So this is high, guys. This is very high. Esto es algo que tú cuando lo dices, usually, normalmente, eso es algo que tú haces casi todos los días. Casi todos los días. Another example, I usually iron my shirt. I usually iron my shirt. Si tú trabajas, tú planchas tu ropa todos los días, probablemente. Normalmente plancho mi ropa todos los días. A menos de que, unless you're late, a menos de que vayas tarde, y pues ya, ni modo, te vas hacia tu trabajo. And the highest of all the adverbs of frequency, always, which means siempre. Siempre. So yeah, always is like the king of the adverbs of frequency. It's something that you do every single day. Always, I always brush my teeth. I always brush my teeth. I always brush my teeth. That's something that you should do too. That's something that you must do, actually. We all brush our teeth. Very good. We always brush our teeth. Nosotros siempre lavamos nuestros dientes. We always take a shower. Well, probably not all of us. Probably that is not something that happens in every single person, but we could even say usually people usually take a shower. La gente normalmente toma una ducha. Se baña, pues. Very good. So now Now we are in the end of the class. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for paying to me attention, and thank you for your repetitions. This is something that you must work every single day. You have to memorize all these adverbs of frequency, but you know it's not impossible. So please, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for paying me attention. And to anybody who is seeing this video, thank you so much for your time. And goodbye.